Morning traders, this is Brad with the Asian Preview. All right, let's have a quick look at the remnants of the US North American session. Now, main thing was the CPI numbers. Okay, you got the CPI, then you got the core CPI underneath. Pretty much all as expected. The year-on-year number just slightly above. The rest of it, everything else was bang on target, and that's even the red book pretty much on target as well. Now, dollar index, slight little top side and back down, not much in it. Equities, pretty much almost zero, right? Which goes to show that the CPI numbers have given us no real lead or no further details about the Fed hike in December, right? It's no clear-cut decision. What we're hoping for is some really definitive data there, stronger or weaker to make the decision easier. As it is, it's on target, so I would say the Fed would still be expected to go. Now, I haven't adjusted the major charts here. I just want to show you the sort of the awkward price action you're going to get around these, around these events. You can see where the currencies are trading sideways. Aussie dipped to the downside, even top back to the top side. It is trading sideways. Everyone's getting caught up in these potential moves both sides. And look at the Kiwi sort of dancing through that trend line. Dollar yen trying to test the top of that trend line we had there yesterday, up around, what is it? I think it's around 123.50. The best still looking trade, I think, is still selling euro on a rally back towards 107.10. Now, I know it's at 106.50, but this is still the best looking setup. Okay, now we had UK CPI numbers pretty much bang on expectations. Okay, it was dancing around here, around these trend lines. It dipped down through this, back up. This is where the UK CPI numbers came out, and then the US ones as well. You can see here, it's just a convoluted technical mess. Okay, if anything, oil is still trading around $40, but the little gyration here has seen dollar CAD just dip below that trend line, and it is holding for the moment. But if oil continues to fall, then dollar CAD should slip back up again. It's been a bit of a tricky one. So just all in all, looking at these major currency pairs, cable, it's just trading sideways, Kiwi sideways, Aussie sideways, Euro with a downward bias, so that's why I like that a lot. And dollar yen, well, you know what? It's trading sideways, but it's banging some big ranges here, right? So just keep an eye on this thing. It's still, all these markets are still undecided whether the Fed is going to go, and that's the way they're trading at the moment, except for Euro, which does have that bias to the downside. So now, once you've refreshed your charts and you've redrawn them, this is how the Aussie chart should look. See, once again, you can see this sort of sideways activity. What we are getting is a lot more peripheral or secondary trend lines. Top side 71.40, downside now back here it's just under 70.80. Right, that's all we've got there. And we've also just you just move adjusting your highs and lows here because the currency isn't really going anywhere. All it's doing is messing around with these trend lines. Kiwi likewise, new support down here at 64.5. Excuse me. The and top side still up here around 65.36. I mean that Fonterra announcement the other day where it shot up here was just outrageous. Really threw the market out. Probably got a lot of stops triggered up there on the top side, which were then triggered back on the downside. Now we're sort of just grinding away here on the downside. I think there was a fall in the milk price as well. Now, coming over to the beast, this is where you see most of the action in the dollar in the Asian session. Now, I've just adjusted the top here to that line. It was only a few points above. And with that equity market pretty much flat, Nikkei futures are expected to open 130 up. I think that would be less than that. We might see dollar yen trickle back into the range. But start to look at the cloud here. When you start to get this sideways cloud movement, it generally means the currency is trading in a range. So don't get too caught up in the next big move, not until that Fed anyway. Euro yen still has, out of the yen crosses, I think one of the better looking opportunities, especially with that euro downward bias. It gives us a bit of a emphasis. Nikkei futures just breaking to the top side. Sterling yen, bit of a basket case. It's already well through the top side there as well. So just coming over to the yen crosses, having a look here where the main action is. Okay, we've got a trend line here on the top side Aussie yen, but the best trades, as you know, where it involves the cloud, so that's not really funky for me. We do have the top of the cloud here in euro yen, but the trend lines are almost too far to the top side. Sterling yen is not really coalescing, nor is CAD yen. Kiwi yen, well, the top of the cloud, I mean, the trend line's 50, 60 points above the trend line, above the cloud. So once again, the yen cross is really not giving us too much at this point. So don't get carried away with this. There's going to be some really good trading opportunities coming up, but probably just not just at the moment. All right. Now, the China, no major Chinese data. That's why I'm looking at this page, just to rule out, okay, look, there's nothing to look at here just at the moment. Coming back to the data for the local session, okay, we've got wage price index. This is a bit of it's a deep rooted number. Okay, inflation numbers around wage pricing. It can have an impact. So have a look at that on the Aussie. But we are looking for big numbers, because otherwise these currencies, if you don't know it yet, they are trading sideways, right? Doesn't mean you get caught up in the mid range here. You're trying to sort of pick them off, but it's not very compelling trading just at the moment. Kiwi producer prices. I think this data's out by a day, but we'll have a look at that. It's not a real big number there by any stretch. All right. So really, guys, you're sort of really waiting for the next major US numbers to give us a real push here with, give us a bit more of a lead into that Fed decision. And as we sort of go through the various numbers, we will have some more mortgage figures. I think some building permit numbers as well. So once again, peripheral data, range trading to persist. I think you're going to see these false breaks to the top side, false breaks to the downside, and every day you wake up, you probably find the currencies back where they started the day before. All right, that's the run of what's happening at the moment. Okay, all right, guys, we'll catch you later on. Have a good day. We'll see you in the trade zone. Cheerio.